So now we're going to look at creating and modifying tasks. But before we start adding tasks, we need to actually change a few things. So you see on the bottom of the window it says new tasks are manually scheduled. So it's just down the bottom here. We want to change this to auto schedule. This is to make sure that Microsoft Project does all the work for us, because we're using a fancy bit of software. We might as well get the most out of it. So if you click on the little button on the text down here, and then double click it in again, you might have to click it once, twice. So by default it's on the manually schedule, but we want to actually click on the one here where it says auto schedule. So give that a click and you'll see the text just changes. So that's what we want to do. So that's just make sure the project does as much work as we can get it to do. Then next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back up to File, and then we're going to go down to Options again. We're just getting everything set up. We're going to go back to Schedule, and then we're going to see down along here there's a little tick box in the schedule options for this project. So we're going to tick this box here. So tick new tasks are effort driven. So again, what this means is so if there's a task to clean the house and it's going to take 40 hours to clean the house, it just means that it doesn't matter if it's going to be 1 or 2 people, it's going to take 40 hours no matter what. So again, it'll just make the project run a little bit smoother. So don't have to think too hard about it. Just tick the box and it'll work out for this example. So click OK. So now we've got our background settings all set up. So now we can actually create a task. So we're going to click the first blank task name cell. So this is our task name cell, so we can click in here. It's the first blank one. So at this point we can fill in the task and one after each other. So we can fill in the task, press enter, it'll go down to the next one, and we can keep doing that. So for the first thing we're going to do, the project we're actually going to be working on is going to be fitting out a small medical center. So the first task we're going to put in is going to be review lab design, and just press enter and we'll move down to the next tab. And then the next task is going to be receive equipment. Hit enter again. So again, now in this case, say we've added a few tasks and you actually realize you forgot something in the middle and you wanted to put something in between the task 1 and 2. What you do is you click on the one below the task where you want the next one to go. So click in here, I want to put one in between 1 and 2, so I'm going to click on 2. I'm going to right click and then click on the insert task. And you'll see now, there we go. Now it's actually made space for us in the middle. So for a new task, so we just click into this, and the task we're going to put in here is going to be called Purchase MRI. Hit enter. So you can see now the taskbar, because we actually set the option in here to auto schedule. So the auto schedule, we know it's going to be definitely auto schedule when you see this little blue bar with a grey arrow. That just means everything's going to be auto scheduled. So again, Microsoft Project is going to do the work for us. By default, when we don't put in the information on how long it's going to take, by default Microsoft Project just sets that 1 day, and it always puts in a question mark then beside it. So that's just a reminder for us to make sure that we actually have to go back and put in a duration at some stage. So if we don't put in a duration, Microsoft Project will put up a little question mark, and again, it's just to remind us that we need to add a duration. So we'll do that a bit later. And again, you'll see here the start date for the project is the 12th of the 4th. So that was the day actually earlier on we actually set the start of the project to be that day. So the first task is going to take place on the first day. So logical enough. So now we've got a few tasks. What we actually can do, we can start organizing tasks. We could actually put a big list of tasks the whole way down. But it'd be nice to kind of organize the tasks into groupings. This thing is just make things a bit clearer when we're on site. So this is what organizing, summarizing tasks. So this makes it easy to assign a task to in a project. So if you have a number of tasks and you want to organize them, you can group them together under a thing called a summary task. So to show you how this works, we're going to select the first 2 rows. So basically click into one with the left mouse button and just hold your mouse down, and you can see you're going to select the 3 tasks that we just put in there. So once you've got the 3 tasks I should say, we're going to go to the task tab up the top. So along the top here we have the task. So click on the task and then go to the insert summary, so this is the insert section, and we're going to click summary here. So click the summary and that'll actually put in see, it should push them all down. It's going a bit slow. So now we'll see, we're going to put the summary one in here, and and it's going to be renamed inspection. So just click in here I'm going to call the summary task inspection, and then we just hit enter just to finish that one. And what we notice now is basically that's our summary task. This is our kind of our group name for the tasks, and the three tasks we actually made earlier on, they've all been indented. So this kind of shows that they are actually, the inspection is the higher order one, and these ones are kind of the subtasks within that. So, you know, summary task is the top one, and the indented ones are the next ones down. So you can organize from the top down like you would have in a work breakdown structure. So big summary task at the top, and to break them down into lower levels. So this is what we have here. So what I want you to do next is, there's actually a Word file on Brightspace called task lists. So I want you to go into that Word file and have a look. There's actually listed summary tasks and subtasks. So what I want you to do is get that file and then actually insert the rest of the summary tasks and subtasks which we see on that file in here. I think I'll bring it on screen quickly. So this is the task list on Brightspace. So I want you to basically insert all these tasks and subtasks into the project. And then, so pause the video, insert the task, and then we'll continue on to the next phase, okay? So now I've actually added all that extra text from the Word document. So these are all the extra tasks. You may have noticed that you would have had to move or indent the thing. When I've actually put in these subtasks, you see there's actually inspection is there, and then detailed inspection is a sub-summary task. When I put these in, first of all, the lab setup and all these ones, they actually need to be actually indented. They're actually indented a little bit too much. So if yours is in, these one here, lab setup and certification, need to be on the same level as inspection. So if I click into the text here and then go up to in the task tab in the schedule, you see the little indent button here. So the little text, we're going to outdent it. So we're going to put it back. And that actually outdents the lab setup to the same level as inspection, and actually brings all the subtasks with it. So we're going to do the same again for certification. So just outdent that a little bit. And there we go. And I just did that by accident, but I can show you now. If you click that little black triangle, that'll actually hide all the subtasks. So, you know, in theory, you could actually hide all these ones and just have them. Then we can open them up again by just clicking on that triangle. Straightforward enough. So, you know, so this is what we want to look at. So your file should look something like this, with inspection, lab setup, and certification as the main summary tasks. Then we got some subtasks, and then, you know, detailed inspection is the next layer in. So this is what we're looking for. So if it's not looking like this, just go back and try again. Probably just a case of actually just indenting or outdenting the task to the right level. And hopefully, if everything's looking all right, we should be able to go on to the next stage, which is actually the next video is going to be adding milestones. So make sure this is working on, make sure you have all the tasks correct, and then we'll go on to the next one, okay?